Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play the Dark mod. In the previous episode, we continued playing through Chronicles of Skullduggery 3, Sacricide. We mostly explored the bank, and we found the documents that we were asked to retrieve for our contact here in the city we find ourselves in, not Bridgeport. We then explored some of the city's streets. We discovered that the bank is actually owned and operated by a gentleman who is quite underhanded and wants to play politics to expand his bank's influence, even going so far as to fund a, I don't know if rebellion is a proper word, but take over another town, overthrowing its current government, installing a figurehead that it will control in order to have an excuse to build another bank over there. So I'm not going to feel so bad about looting everything from that bank, nor possibly knocking out the guards therein. We then saw the entrance to the cathedral, and we found another way in through the sewer system. I think that's where we're located at the moment. So let's pick up where we left off and begin exploring the cathedral. We are here, after all, to assassinate the bishop. Let's get started. Okay, everyone. I think the guard is in the other room. I haven't heard the door unlock. Yep, he is. Thankfully, he doesn't care about the fact that the door mysteriously opening or shutting. Okay, he's on his way out. There are two guards in the hall. That guard has something on his waist. A key. We're gonna want that. That looks like an outside area.
Have a nice night. Verily.
The cook, I suspect. I thought that was another Hammerite sitting here in the graveyard. Here lieth body of Richard Knowles, who departed this life November 12th at age 23. Here lies the body of Thomas, Friar Thomas. May thy works endure. There's a Hammerite gold symbol there. I don't think I'm going to take it. Sometimes I'm suspicious about robbing from the dead in every game I play. And sometimes when I play a game, even a game like Grim Dawn or Diablo, like Diablo 2, I won't actually loot any graves with a certain character for thematic reasons. Like the Paladin won't loot graves, unless I'm required to do so. With us here, I just don't want to take that. Now, we were told there's nothing suspicious here. Oh, hello. Holy water. Maybe we will actually find some undead. Slow march. Slow match. Slow match. I don't know what this is or why I would want it, so we're just gonna leave it here. Looks like some sort of magic wand, though. I think that's the guy we took the key from. I want to check this gate and see if it's unlocked. It is. Interesting. We might be able to make our way to the balcony. So there's a door down here to the right. The door, we saw a guard taking his evening meal in, and the cook enters. There's another door above us here, which has a balcony in it. I think that Hammerite might be going towards it. Actually, that's might be within jumping distance. Barely. Library. I think that's the door that overlooks the balcony. he has a key on him, and he does, I'm gonna wait until he walks back this way to make the grab attempt. I don't think I'll be able to get the key from him when he opens this door and walks out to the balcony? Yeah, we won't be able to get that. To get the key from him then. We'll wait till he walks back. Oh, which is gonna happen now?
Noise? Hello?
Ah.
What the?
Okay, that sucks. You have to be much closer to them. To steal a item, would seem, in the dark mod. And he'll totally hear us walking right up behind him too, despite the fact we're on carpet. Maybe we can get lucky and take his key from him when he walks out of this door. Because he'll spin around to shut it, and then we can try to nab it from his belt. We could also just lockpick the doors, assuming that they can be lockpicked, but I'd rather get it from him, the key. Don't know if there's anyone else in this room. It looks like there is not. Okay, let's read the things that we just picked up while we wait for the Hemorrhoid to walk out of this room after walking back in it. I don't think we'll have that long to wait. History of the Puglian War. On the Puglian Wars, the warlord Hasdrubal, son of the king of the Moors, arrived on our shores in the spring of 1509 with roughly 10,000 foot soldiers, 800 cavalry, and 50 war elephants. His goal was simple: lay siege to the capital and force a surrender of the empire to the will of the king of the Moors. What he was met with was the unwavering fortitude of the builder and an army of similar magnitude, minus the elephants, under the command of the legendary legate Quintus as Augustus. The war was a long-fought one, with battles taking place in many places along the mid and south parts of the peninsula over the course of several years. As Hasdrubal ravaged the countryside and defeated some less experienced capital commanders, calls from the Senate became louder and louder for the expulsion of his army from the land. The superior fleet of the Empire had fairly early routed the Moorish fleet, effectively cutting off Hasdrubal's option to retreat. Finally, on a chilly winter's morning in 1513, when he had been pushed all the way out to the Puglia, Hasdrubal made his final stand. He still had the upper hand with his war elephants, but he knew this battle would cost him dearly. What he didn't know, however, was that Quintus Augustus had a secret weapon: instruments. As the battle was about to take place, a row of trumpets took the front line in Quintus's army and blasted off at the top of their lungs. This scared the elephants so intensely that they broke formation and fled in the opposite direction, effectively trampling several cohorts of Hasdrubal's men to death and breaking away from battle. In the ensuing chaos, Quintus was easily able to break the unorganized line of soldiers and quickly surround the Moors, cutting down every last one mercilessly. So broken was the back of the Moorish military that they have to this day not recovered either the will or the manpower to invade the empire again. History is written by the victors. I'm not quite sure how accurate that is. History of Santa Leta. Leta Ziani? Leta Ziani was a young maiden and an indentured court servant to the Duke of Piombino. He was known as a corrupt and morally bankrupt man. We're talking about the Duke now. He was known as a corrupt and morally bankrupt man who had no love for the teachings of the master builder. Leta stood up to his foul behavior, though voicing her opinion, and cited the builder's scripture. The details of her disagreements, and which part of the scripture she cited, is not known, but this perceived insolence incurred a mighty rage in the Duke, and he ordered Leta's tongue removed. This set in motion a series of events that cost the Duke his life and his family's claim to the lands. The church was given control of the city, and Leta spent the remaining years of her life in a nunnery doing wonderful deeds of healing the sick. After her death, she was recognized as a saint, and her hometown was renamed in her honor. Her remains were interred in the old catacombs in the city, with a small fortune in gold and jewels. That was supposedly the burial place is highly secure. Probably a lot of this information deals with the special quests you have the option of doing. The challenges. Alright, so now I'm going to cut the recording here again, everyone, and wait for that Hammerite guard to begin walking out of the room. So give me a few seconds again. It took him a while actually for him to get back here. I went ahead and dropped the books back off to where we got them from and looted the two vases from on top of the fireplace. This is a heads up while I was waiting. I didn't do a more thorough search of these bookshelves, but I'm assuming there's nothing really in them. Guess we'll look together really quick with our telescope. This is the balcony, by the way, not the other door we had been near earlier.
Perhaps I shall see him at evening vespers.
We know that that guard will walk into this room at some point. Oh. That must go back downstairs to where the large meeting hall is.
My money.
think that's the guard who walks into the large room near the bathroom. Brother Aldamo's notes. Patrol duty is finally over, and I now have time to write down my thoughts. My head has been awash with questions this eve. Firstly, how did the bishop walk into the library? And when I followed him in there, nearly a minute later he was gone. Did he jump off the balcony? Surely not. That is the only other exit, so I'm quite vexed by it. Secondly, is the bishop not supposed to be our paragon of virtue, the one we look for inspiration on how to best serve the builder? I'm certain I have seen this Lady Gianetta down at the end of Via Belladonna tempting men into her chambers. I dare not speak a word of this to anyone, though. I don't know if she is fooling the bishop into something, or he is actively seeking out her services, but I tend to think the latter more likely. Okay, well now we have to kind of wait around again. I'm not going to feel confident making a move until after either that guard has gone back to where he came from, or this guard is back from his patrol. So we're going to cut the recording again, everyone, while we wait. So I'll be back. That's not the room I thought it was at all. This is the main cathedral entrance. Like, well, not entrance, but where services are held. I do want to explore, but I'm not going to feel confident making the... Oh, okay. We can make an attempt. That's weird. That wasn't us. Who did that? Okay, well, we need to wait here for a little bit. I guess we'll wait this time on screen. As I proceed not to talk. I really like the music to the church. Like the bells ringing at the very end here. It makes me think that this place is actually quite twisted or evil. Reminds me a bit of... what was the game called? Eternal Darkness, when you played the monk during the Benedictine times, and you were investigating the church, and it was not a holy place to be in. Such a good game, that one. Shame they never made a sequel to that. It was really well done. Well, the story was pretty well done. I remember really liking it. The characters were believable too. The voice acting was decent. The music was spot on. The only issue is that the combat was a little too easy, if I'm being honest. And the thing about Eternal Darkness, right, is that you had to manage a sanity meter in addition to your health. The funnest parts of the game came from when your sanity meter was running low, but the lower it was, if it ran out, you began taking health damage whenever you would be harmed by any sanity damage, which meant that it was pretty unsafe for you to play the game that way.
Did this burn so quickly?
We don't have too long. He will come back here. There he is.
Sinful thoughts multiply.
I also have no clue what his patrol route is in this place, so hopefully he does not come up here. Which is exactly where he's going. Okay, thank goodness. Church entrance key. Father Beneditti's journal. October 15th. Much has happened since I last wrote in this journal. I really should take to writing more often. It really does foster the health of the mind. It has come to my attention that, as I had previously suspected, the Bishop Lotaeri Fonte did indeed come to his position through simony? A short discussion with Archbishop Baldovantini in the capital a fortnight past made it abundantly clear. He spoke of the mansion with 300 yardlands that was gifted to him by the bishop before he was appointed. It saddens me to think that this is what has become of the upper echelon of the builder's church. My position as priest of the Church of Santa Letta was earned through the sweat of my brow and my unwavering adherence to the vows of priesthood. I would be surprised if the bishop has done a single honorable deed in his life. There's nothing I can do about it, though, which is why I contain my anger within these passages. The simony could be forgiven if the bishop indeed could be trusted with the position, but he is shirking his responsibility toward the common folk. So many in town now live within a hair's breadth of their means due to the greed of the powerful. The poor still give what they can at Mass, bless their souls. I just think that we need something extraordinary holy to bless the lives of our congregation. I have an item in mind. It is so close, but I'm afraid out of my reach. The reliquary of Santa Letta herself rests in the graveyard behind the bishop's complex. Its potential miracles wasted. I could put the holy power of her relics to such good use. If it weren't for the blasted traps and undead guardians in the way. I will go down into the catacombs and retrieve it myself. I even found an arduous old tome when I visited the capital describing the burial process of Santa Letta. It appears that the reliquary was concealed underneath a statue of pure gold in Santa Letta's image. I imagine that one puts our stone statue to shame. The statue is said to move back, revealing the reliquary if the torches on either side of the statue are lit. I did mention that uncareful trespassers will be cleansed by the holy fires of the builder. Ominous words indeed, and indicative of a trap. It would be the end of me if I were to attempt to retrieve it. My services to the people of Santa Letta are still worth something. How much are these worth? 80. We'll take one, but not everything. I was originally not going to care about this church very much, but it sounds like there are still good priests here, so I'm going to feel really guilty if I do indeed rob them blind of everything they possess. This is one of the reasons why I wish the gold amount you could retrieve was a little more forgiving.
These lights try my patience.
So I guess we could take the wine as well. What was that objective? I'm not sure. We know that he might walk back in here. He did double back once before. I don't think we're going to need the church entrance key. Actually, if he's leaving, and he is, we'll wait till he goes upstairs, and then we'll check that door. I could put out the lights, but I'm pretty sure those are offerings. I'm Catholic, and I am not going to blow out an offering candle, even if it would make this easier to do.
Work is holy in my sight.
That represents someone's memory of someone else, or a prayer or hope lit.
The righteous fires of the Lord builder shall purify the unclean.
This probably oh, I forget the name of it now. This probably leads to a back area where supplies for the mass are stored, would be my guess, if it looks like a normal church. It does not look like a normal church. Made by Rosio Fizi in 1483, after the original fabled gold statue in Santa Letta's burial chamber. So that's the type of statue we're looking for then. She has a ruby. We will take that, unfortunately. Sorry, Santa Letta. This is brighter than I thought it would be. Oh, I thought there might have been a guard out here, but I see no guards.
Thy God shall not forsake thee, nor thy works.
If he comes in here... Okay. I don't know where he'll go. He could either sit here or stare at the statue or something of the sort.
Lord Builder, bless our hands and our tools, that we may do great works in thy name.
Attention, brethren. Time spent in the presence of Our Lady Santa Letta shall be done in silent contemplation. If thou wish to recite thy builder's prayers, do so in front of the builder's hammer in this prayer garden. Thank you for showing Our Lady the respect she deserves. We could probably jump over this to the other side. So that leads to the main entrance. That must be the main. That must lead outside then. The main doors are on the other side of. Wait, no, they're on the completely opposite side of this wall. That leads into the room where the other Hammerite was eating his evening meal and the cook comes out of. So I don't think we go that way either. I think we will try to make this jump once this guard begins walking back the other direction. Assuming, of course, I don't brush against the spikes on top here, and then I can actually do so. We'll search this marketplace really quick, and then that will do it for this session. Okay. There's the graveyard. So we've looked down this hall before. I'm gonna wait a little longer though to make this jump. I don't want the Hammerite to get suspicious.
What was that sound? Tis something. Lord Builder, bless our hands and our tools, that we may do great works in thy name.
Oh, hello. That's someone else entirely different who came out of that tavern. Took a tiny bit of damage from the fall. Actually, maybe we don't need that.
Huh. You can't blame that one on me. I wasn't even there.
He will walk back this way, and we will get the purse from his belt when he does so.
Uh-oh. Did I drop that?
That's a terrible feeling. Losing money. Alright, everyone. I think we'll stop here, though. So, thank you guys for watching. We've explored most of the ground floor and some of the second floor. We discovered there might be a secret passage in the library that I missed. We've gotten an optional quest to retrieve the relics of Santa Letta so that the bishop might be able to use them to do some good deeds. However, doing so will involve us going down into the catacombs and dealing with some zombies. Our first time meeting undead. Rather thematic for our playthrough for the Dark mod. Anyway, we'll stop here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.